Matt Ibrahim here with Movement Resilience. We're going to go over the hip hinge pattern today, and not so much going over how to program for it or how to utilize it in sport or fitness or just human function. What I'm going to look at is when we have clients come in, athletes come in, or when we're rehabbing patients, or when we teach the hip hinge one-on-one workshop, just working with a variety of students, clinicians, trainers, and coaches. What we see often is the inability to own certain positions, in addition to not being able to control their body in certain positions. You look at athletic performance and human function and overall just human movement as it is, and we look at if we are unable to control our body and control our movement, coupled with the inability to own certain positions, chances are we're going to have a hard time loading those positions and adding external loads and resistance and basically putting some weight or some wheels on the bar, so to speak. Okay? So what I want to go over is we often see people who, when we're teaching hip hinging, right, they'll often default to some sort of ugly, squatty type pattern, poor spinal position, whether they're flexing too much, extending too much, not really doing what we want them to do in terms of that forward to back translation. So our butt's going this way. So if you were to put a point on my hip, you'd see the hip joint not really moving so much up and down, but more so front to back. So rather than seeing that squatty hip hinge pattern like that faulty pattern, what you'd like to see is the front to back pattern where this level doesn't really go up or down much, okay? What happens is when they get into that position and they go, oh, okay, I get it, light bulb, now I understand it's front to back translation and not so much up and down. What happens is they get to this position like, oh wow, my hamstring's about to blow off and it's gonna explode and tear. Not likely, it's not gonna happen. It's just the inability to control that loading of the posterior chain and being comfortable in that position and controlling it, okay? So what I wanna focus on is the power of isometrics coupled with eccentrics, okay? So anyone can, quick movements, right? We all see this so often. In any training discipline or sport or just overall function, we see it. Going at high speeds and fast acceleration is easy to do. It doesn't really require much control compared to slow and controlled eccentrics, as well as isometrically just holding it there and say, okay, my hamstring and my posterior chain is loaded, my hamstring's not gonna blow off and I'm not gonna die, okay? Understanding and appreciating this position, this loaded position, and then standing back up tall, give the glutes a nice little squeeze, okay? So I'm not even implementing a bar yet, just slow and controlled. You can put your hips on, you can put your hands on the points of your hips, okay? And just think of, you don't want your hand to rise or go up or down, just sit your butt back, press your feet into the ground. You want to feel a bit of a stretch back here, okay? If it's too much, if you're getting numbness, tingling, or pain, obviously stop. But if you tolerate that bit of a stretch, although it's uncommon to you, if you can tolerate it, that's okay. Okay, head to butt relatively straight. I'm sitting my butt back, and I'm getting a bit of a stretch here. Okay, hold that isometrically. Just hold that. Okay, come back up. Squeeze my butt again. Eccentrically just means lengthening under load. So I'm lengthening this tissue, the posterior chain. Under my body weight would be the load here, or just gravity rather. Sitting back as far as I can go. Feet stay flat, head to butt relatively flat, okay? And this thing's loaded. Feel that, appreciate that. Then stand up tall, okay? Then when we implement some sort of external load, external resistance, albeit kettlebell, dumbbell, PVC pipe, barbell, so on and so forth, we want to understand now, okay, we have that counterbalance. Now we're actually adding some formal load, okay? So again, stand tall. Nothing scientifically profound here, but we're appreciating and owning positions and controlling our body within those positions. So using this as a counter movement, sit my butt back, let the bar ride the body, eccentrically slowly lowering, pause, isometrically holding this position. Anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. Okay? Get an appreciation for what this should feel like. Okay? If you've been there before, aka you've done the movement before, slow and controlled, and you own the position, your awareness increases. If your awareness increases, chances are when we add more load to that movement, your light bulb, oh, I've been there before. Reference point, that's going to be okay. Your perception of pain or threat will be decreased, your awareness will be increased, thus providing a better environment for you to complete the task, aka the exercise or movement. And again, but 3 seconds eccentrically lowering, isometrically hold this position between 5 to 10 seconds. Feet flatten to the ground, head to butt relatively straight, sitting my butt back, and then stand up tall, okay? When we actually load it in terms of a kettlebell or a barbell, so you just take, let's use a kettlebell as an example. We want the kettlebell to travel in the same path as where the barbell went. What we don't want to see is that kettlebell going too far forward. So think of, if you were to bring your feet parallel like you're on a skateboard, draw a line roughly from heel to heel, okay? Now, that's where you want to aim the kettlebell. Notice how I didn't go all the way to the ground with the PVC, so we're going to follow along the same lines with the dumbbell or the kettlebell in this case, okay? And again, we're aiming the kettlebell, the butt of the kettlebell, toward the direction of the line from my heel to heel, okay? So again, I'm sitting back. I'm not going all the way down. This is more RDL or rack pull, or AKA letting the kettlebell end somewhere a little bit under the kneecap and to the mid shin. So we want to end somewhere roughly between mid shin and kneecap, in this range right there, okay? So again, about 3 seconds coming down, feet flat, head to butt flat, pause isometrically, just hold that position. 5 to 10 seconds, get an appreciation for it, stand up tall, squeeze your butt cheeks, okay? After that, we would take that to the barbell, and then we would load that with some plates on the side, okay? Give that a shot. To recap, own the position, be able to control your body in the position, and appreciate the positions first before you add tons of load and fall short to dysfunction, pain, and injury where we don't want to have you, okay? Give it a shot. Thanks.